Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the MALT Semifinals weekend. We are now down to the final block of matches to round out what has been a very exciting semifinals weekend. We've had a number of players punch their ticket into the top six, and we're going to decide two more positions here. We have a doubleheader ahead of us, but right now we're going to be showing you guys the marquee matchup of the weekend. It is going to be our number one seed, Axelerrixx, taking out our number four seed, Rhymes with Mash. As always, my name is Sparky, and I am joined in the commentary booth this time around by none other than Dynascape. Dyna, how you doing?
Doing great as always, Sparky, but I am worried for this warm up. I heard it while you were doing your intro. It doesn't look good.
Oh no. Oh no. Hey, it's on 0.8 rate. Maybe it's doable.
I have to question why they chose point 0.8. If you're gonna do a warm up and it's gonna be 11, 10 plus stars anyways, just full send it.
True. Just why do you have uh these doubts? It's like if you're just going to play the silliest warm up of all time, just like you said, full send it.
It was like carefully picked too. I feel like they could have gone for like a point 0.6 if they wanted to inflict as much damage to their opponent as possible, get closer to that 4-minute warm up mark, or just 1 point whatever.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
for the physical damage.
I forget physical damage, mental damage, having to endure what you're hearing for.
Yeah.
This is prime zero master volume gaming. If you really want to make your way through this.
Oh yeah. If I get this warm up in match, I'm definitely scrolling the scroll wheel a little bit down.
For sure. I'm scrolling my way into my Firefox tabs and just relaxing for 3 minutes. I'm just watching football on the other screen while I wait for my opponent to just play something like this. You know what? You know what's dumb?
What is dumb?
How are they both holding S ranks? Like what?
Yeah, they're kind of going crazy right now. At least it seems like Mash has the more physical gap, just as it stands.
Yeah,
But
and
both
it's
very
funny
impressive.
because everybody has been talking about how Axelerrixx has had this like meteoric rise through like their skill cap has just like reached a completely unheard of level. But like we have Mash here just silently making their way through the tournament, just laying under the radar, not drawing any attention to themselves as arguably one of the best players in this tournament as well.
Oh, 100% a contender that can take it. Mash hit me with an interesting fact that I didn't even notice until now, in that he has not dropped a map this entire tournament.
Has he not? Has he actually managed to?
He's had the broom out for every person he's faced.
Huh. I, you know, wouldn't have noticed. Like I said, he's flown so far under the radar, just undetectable to anybody, but he has made, like, I'm pretty sure he's had some close maps where it's maybe the margin inside of maybe a couple thousand points, maybe a couple hundred at times. But the only person I think left in this tournament that can make that claim, Axelerrixx has dropped a couple points here and there to their opponents. They do have their weaknesses in their game, and it'll be interesting to see if Mash can exploit some of those weaknesses. Stuff like coordinated LN, particularly being a weak point for Axelerrixx, and who knows, maybe we have a bit of an upset brewing on our hands.
Yeah, Axelerrixx did manage to take the latter half of the map. Pretty impressive, but yeah, no one else in this tournament. Not anyone in the winner's side. Axelerrixx last week dropped 2 maps total. Those were his only maps dropped in LN1 and LN2. Nana and Bandusty, kind of rocky road, I think 3 maps total, and then Siluesca L's, I believe, something like quick math here, 7 maps total
Yeah,
in this entire tournament. So I mean, everyone in this top 4 winners side very very dominant. It's
for
just that
sure.
Mash is a caliber above so far.
Yeah, and mercifully, there are no more warm-ups. It is time to get into the rolls. We had a very funny roll last match. We had a 60 followed by a 59.
Ooh. So hopefully both players formed up their roles as well. That's always very important.
They both end up rolling their respective memes. Which meme was stronger? Vancho refused to let us see which ones they were.
Yeah, I can't tell if Bento just ignored them or it cut off for us on the client.
It was trying to process the rolls. Let's see here. 34-88. Mash wins the roll.
All right.
And we're going to get into the bans here. Axelerrixx immediately knocking out LN2. Unsurprising.
Yep. Mash should be banning Rice 1 if my predictions are correct. Yep. No insider info, just pure brain on that one.
Certainly not wouldn't have any conversations with the players. They're recluses. So
Exactly.
don't have no reason to talk to them. And let's see here. So with the bans out of the way, LN2 Rice 1 not going to be played in this match. We're going to get into Mash's first pick here. Guys, you have the LN3.
Yeah, definitely somewhere on the LNs, right? But LN3 a good pick. I don't know when he wants to pick LN1 to really strike at Axelerrixx.
Probably after this. Honestly, there's really no reason not to kind of just let them linger or use them right out of the gate. I think there's a pretty clear advantage there between the two players in terms of relative comfort. I'm pretty sure Axelerrixx can swing a decent performance on it, but they probably definitely do not want to have to prove that.
Definitely. I think LN1 is more kind of like the ace in the hole for Mash, so probably saving it for when he's more warmed up in that tournament mindset and locked in. But otherwise, I do know that he likes this song. He's probably played it a lot of times, so should have a lot of familiarity with this map. Axelerrixx, not sure about him, but I mean, he's been a very good player. There's a reason why he's seed 1, right? So let's see what he's got.
Yeah, as we get this map underway, I imagine the accuracy is going to start to settle in a little bit as the players trade their respective 200 counts back and forth. I think the onus is going to fall on Axelerrixx to really prove that they can hang against Mash on a map like this. But right now, actually, doing a pretty decent job. Only about a tenth ahead at the moment, but this lead is going to shift back and forth, I'd imagine, until somebody blinks first and finds either a slider drop or maybe a 200 here or there.
Yeah, I think usually Mash has pretty good MA in general, especially with LNs compared to the rest of the cast. But I think right now he's kind of playing it safe. A lot of late releases on his side, whereas Axelerrixx is building up a small lead, but finds a first miss on the fast density section. And so, accuracies are tied up, but with Axelerrixx dropping again, Mash is going to have about a 7,000 lead and going to have to catch up on the combo cap on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, relatively clean misses overall, so not going to damage the accuracy too much. Actually, still within striking distance if Mash does find a slip up going into the second third of the chart now. I think it's really just the transitions when things go from the more coordination-based LN structures to those dense runs on the inner columns seem to have tripped Axelerrixx up just a little bit here, but able to regain their composure a little bit, begin to climb back up and close that gap to, again, inside of a tenth of a percent, but another slider break here in the more calm section in between the choruses. Going to be a little bit interesting to see how it develops as we make our way into the back half of the chart now.
Yeah, that was a pretty clean one overall. It was just maybe a misplay on his end, just the wrong finger on the right-hand column. But we are getting into this faster density section yet again, and I mean, Mash is about 3 misses up, has a pretty big lead, 15,000. The accuracy lead is, leaves a little bit more to be desired, but Axelerrixx missing yet again is going to cut that wound even deeper.
Right you are, and as we make our way into the last quarter of the chart, Mash building up a pretty healthy advantage at the moment, still holding on to their FC for the moment, looking pretty comfortable overall on this LN chart. Still able to hold on to the accuracy advantage as well, and really avoiding most of the major pitfalls of this chart, primarily those LN bursts that have been dotting the landscape here and there. This more 1/4, 1/2 oriented stuff a little bit easier to navigate. But Axelerrixx actually doing a pretty good job answering back and recovering all things said and done. Sure, a couple of slider breaks here and there, that one as well. Gonna mar what has been a pretty decent performance, but probably doing better than they were expecting to open this match up as we get to the last couple of notes here.
Yeah, I mean, Axelerrixx kept it very clean overall, even though they did take a lot of misses. I think overall their UR bar has been very fine-tuned for this map. You know, in comparison to other players, I think a lot of players this weekend have been pretty much dropping during those vocal, streamy, LN dumb parts.
I'm gonna be
And,
real, China,
yeah.
real quick. I think this map has been permabanned
Has
up
it?
until now. I think so. Every match I've done so far this weekend,
You've done, like,
has
every
been the
match.
yeah, if it has been played, I haven't seen it. But overall, I mean, yeah, like I was saying, it's like outside of the couple of slider breaks that Axelerrixx found, the ratio difference between the two of them on the 300 counts, very interesting to look at. If Axelerrixx could have kept it a little bit cleaner, that might have actually been a bit of a heart and mouth moment for MASH.
Yeah, I mean, 150 300s traded for about 12 200s. It probably would have been a lot closer than MASH would have liked. Maybe still edging on MASH's side, but still. 6 misses on the side of Axelerrixx, and that's something to clean up later for LN1 and possibly LN4 down the line.
Yeah, for sure. But in that little bit of a transition, RhymesWithMash is the pick here. We're going to go to playing with Ruby, Axelerrixx's first pick in this match overall. And it does bear reminding, this is a best of 11. First player to 6 points will be seeing themselves into that finals weekend on the winner's bracket, securing themselves, I believe, a top 4 finish, if I'm not mistaken. I think even top 3.
Yes, I believe so. And Axelerrixx is really pushing it with this first pick here. This is the longest pick or map of the pool, clocking it at 3 minutes and 30, so you've got a lot of time. Mistakes, you know, aren't as big as a deal, but they still add up.
Yeah, for sure. The first one may be excusable, but as you get deeper and deeper into the map, they become a bit of a no-go type of situation, and both players actually really showing off their technical prowess as we make our way past this first quarter, the opening section now concluding, and it is 0.2 of a percent the difference between both players as they both hold on to their FCs. Axelerrixx ahead, 99.8 to the 99.6 of MASH.
Yeah, MASH slightly more unstable, especially during those more techier sections with a lot of flams and grays and those stuff like that. Took a lot of early and late 200s altogether, and even a miss right now as we get into this drum fill. But Axelerrixx holding on very tightly, 99.72. Things can still be salvaged though.
Yeah, for sure. The lead didn't immediately explode in favor of Axelerrixx, only just now trickling above 8,000 points. Definitely still catchable, considering the fact that we're not even done with the first half. We're only just now crossing into a bit of a interlude section. Things calm down, at least relative to what the players have been doing so far. Opportunity for the players to compose themselves a little bit before the final gauntlet. Still about 1:15 seconds left for them to play through.
Yeah, we're kind of getting into that halfway break section. It is slightly easier. We're just getting kind of piano streams for now, but you know, once the tech starts ramping up, we get a little bit more mixed rice, and a lot of the patterns that we've seen in the beginning of the first half. I do think that MASH can maybe stage a comeback, and Axelerrixx really does need to hold on. I think there's about 1,000 combo left in the map, something like that. So just needs to lock in to take the first point against MASH.
Yeah, and looking very good so far. Still holding on to their FC for the moment, maintaining their very good accuracy. 99.7 on a map like this is nothing to scoff at. As we make our way into the last quarter, the deficit about 0.3 of a percent and 11,000 points in favor of Axelerrixx for the moment. Outside of one singular hiccup that looks to be the difference so far between these two players on this pick.
I feel like that lead has slightly been draining away. It started at around 8,000, something like that, once MASH had missed, but as he tried to get back up to the combo cap, it bled in just a little bit more, and right now we're sitting at 13,000. So again, something needs to happen. MASH does not want to lose this point against Axelerrixx. Breakpoints would be huge, especially on a map like this. I think this is probably one one of the more trickier maps, so this would be a good point to take.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, to be fair, to Mash's credit, they probably wouldn't have willingly picked this into Axelerrixx knowing their physical prowess. And judging by the score that Axelerrixx put up, 991k, to answer back to Mash's opening pick, a rebuttal of their own, only 10 200s to their name, and they notch it up 1-1.
What an even matchup. Axelerrixx just destroying Mash in terms of MA, but also cleaning up that 200 count. We saw Axelerrixx have a lower 300 count, but higher 200 count on the LNs, but this is a whole different story.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely a very well-timed performance to put through here to answer back from that earlier LN pick. And as we wait here, LN1 is going to be the pick for Mash.
Yeah, makes sense that LN1 is going to be picked. Coordination has been kind of a soft spot for Axelerrixx, so it's a very good point for Mash, or good info leading in. Probably thinks he does have the upper hand.
Yeah, for sure. And I was about to answer Axelerrixx's question in the IRC chat, but Mash took care of it. It is Control minus to lower your scroll speed. Interesting, Axelerrixx didn't know that. They managed to put it to 34 somehow. You would imagine the other way around would be just one key over. Anyways, I digress.
I mean, honestly, surprising from Mash that he said Alt F4. Dirty plays by him. Shame on Mash.
That is always the first answer you should give to any technical question.
Yeah.
As an IT professional, I can stand by that. You always tell the user Alt F4 first. Don't actually quote me on that.
Okay, not gonna quote you on that, but I believe you, honestly.
Alrighty, with that being said, we are now underway with this third map of this best of 11. Both players winning their opening picks. Mash moving on to their second here, continuing the LN route and forcing Axelerrixx to basically prove that they can stand toe-to-toe against Mash on these more coordination-based LN charts.
Oh yeah, it's really showing here. Mash taking a lot of late releases, I guess trying to be very safe in terms of keeping that combo, because that is very important. We are halfway through the map. It's a very short map, so you do not want to miss.
Yeah, for sure. A miss, especially as you now cross over that 400 combo cap, would be devastating. As we continue on here, about 0.3% separating both players. FC's still intact, 4,000 points to lead for Axelerrixx at the moment. Can change in an instant with a map like this that is so sparsely populated with notes. Getting back over that 400 combo cap becomes an impossible task the later you go on. In fact, I think we might even be past the point of crossing that 400 combo cap comfortably without basically reaching the end of the chart. And with a quarter still left to go, the deficit is dwindling here inside of about 0.1%. Another couple of 200 coming for Axelerrixx, trying to hang on for dear life here. It is within a couple hundred points going down to the ending.
Yeah, there's only about 150 combo left or something like that, so no room left to breathe for Axelerrixx. You cannot drop any more 200s. Mash has been very good in the last half, but it's just not enough. 973 points. Axelerrixx takes the first break.
I was about to say a couple of 100s from Mash, but answered back by Axelerrixx. That came down to literally those 3 extra 200s from Mash.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that at the start, he had something like 2 greats because of the first note lag, but unfortunately could not make up the difference. And Axelerrixx being by 50k. What a superhuman performance to put on match day.
You can't keep getting away with it, man. Can't keep getting away with it.
He really can't.
The download has processed, as it has begun. He is learning LN, and we're gonna go into Rice 2.
Yeah, Rice 2. Pretty interesting pick. It is Chord Stream. I would have guessed that maybe Rice 5 would be slightly better, just because of the Rice 1 ban from Mash means that he doesn't really like playing delay.
Maybe, but I'm a throw a cap right as soon as this map starts. Axelerrixx saying that he's bad at 7 key core jack. That is complete BS. Somebody bring up that 999k from 2 rounds ago, and tell him to shut up about that.
That's what the kids say as
All that
Axelerrixx
cap.
is capping, yeah, something like that. I don't know. We're old.
We're old, yes. But anyways, we're now starting with the fourth map of this best of 11. Axelerrixx picking up the first breakpoint in this match, an opportunity to capitalize on it, presenting itself going into Rice 2 here, going into Dream of Winds, and very strong starts from both players. They're both very comfortable at this BPM for chord stream picks like this.
Oh yeah, I think that showed in the warm-up that we saw. I mean, there were some very fast chord stream slash brackety patterns, and both of them were handling them very, very well. So it is showing here. I mean, Axelerrixx with a 99.89 halfway into the map. Something to look at. Mash struggling just a little bit more. 99.53 took a couple of grades earlier on, but again, this map, like the last one, only a minute 45. So time is ticking.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and on the transition, Mash finds a break, one of those chords catching them off guard, and that's going to give Axelerrixx the opening they need to really extend this lead that they had built up. Last quarter of the map was still left to go, still holding on to this pristine level of accuracy, 99.87. Mash not too far behind, but that gap has grown to about 0.5%, 20,000 points, the deficit for them to try and overcome. But as we make our way into the last sliver of chart, the window of opportunity is quickly closing. Another transition expertly handled by both players, but it is not going to be enough. Axelerrixx is going to be able to walk away with this pick and capitalize on that break point to make it 3-1 now.
Yeah, this is looking to be about a 992, exactly on the dot. I mean, you said it best, Sparky. He can't keep getting away with this,
He
right?
cannot keep getting away with this. This
You
is
can't like 1 to 10 ratio this map. We're in semifinals, Axelerrixx. What are you doing?
yeah. that was, I mean, to be fair, I think Axelerrixx, based on their past tournament experience, has proven that they can handle the pressure and is able to overperform on when it comes down to it. It showed in 4DM. It's been showing so far this tournament, and as we make our way into Hybrid 1, Mash wasting zero time lingering on what happened on that pick to try and restore a tiny bit of parity. Still needing to get that break point, but wanting to secure a point away from those LNs and using the hybrids to do so.
Yeah, I think Mash didn't really want to go into the LN4 just solely because of the funny spacebar mini jacks. So this one being a much better choice. I think hybrid is, a good avenue, definitely, and I believe this one's a bit more LN biased towards the end, so maybe hoping to catch Axelerrixx out with the double stairs and stuff like that. But I mean, it hasn't worked so far. Mash with a very slight lead. Gonna have to see what happens in the last 2/3 of the map.
Yeah, and again, the question being posed to Axelerrixx, can you handle the transition between the LN and the Rice on a chart like this? They were clearly able to handle those double stair patterns. Both of them were able to maintain that 99.7 between the two of them, but now starting to settle in a little bit, dropping about a 10th of a percent, and Axelerrixx takes the lead in terms of accuracy, and with that, the score. But it is a very fragile lead to hang on. Gonna need to try and capitalize from a mistake on the other side to try and pull away, but it's gonna be Axelerrixx finding the first break here on these anchored LN streams.
Oh wow, that's a big break too. That's pretty dirty overall. Just could not really coordinate the holding the LN while streaming on the other fingers, and because of that, Mash finds themselves with about a 0.3% accuracy lead. That's very big. I think maybe the largest that he's had so far in this match, and with about 15,000 points to his name, it looks like he's gonna be able to take this map.
Potentially so, as we make our way into the outro here. The outer column anchors not giving them too much trouble. All the double stairs and the transitions in between not giving them any issues either, and Mash is going to be able to take the first hybrid of this match to make it 3-2.
Oh yeah, great performance overall. Definitely pretty close. Again, Axelerrixx showing off that Rice prowess. Such a good ratio with the 300s, but those bad judgments really holding them back, and that's why MASH able to take their second point in.
Yeah, now we wait to see what Axelerrixx's next pick is going to be. Still has some options in that rice pool, and probably not going to be willing to go toe-to-toe with MASH on the hybrids, and probably most definitely not going to willingly go into the LN pick either. So we do have still rice 3, 4, and 5. Which of those options might be the best one remains to be seen.
Yeah, I think I really do like Mash's options in the chat. It's either he stops PBing, or Mash starts playing really well, or Axelerrixx picks Rice 3, because I'm guessing that's Mash's most comfortable pick. But Axelerrixx going with the route of Rice 5, again sensing out that delay weakness from Mash. And this is the closest that we got to it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, when we talk about stuff like weaknesses, I mean like maybe a couple extra misses, maybe a 50 here or there, or maybe a bit of a drop of accuracy. I don't think there's a real world where either of these players will find themselves finding the same issues as some of their other bracket mates in this round in particular. These two are definitely proving to be a cut above, at least in terms of consistent performances.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think MASH, again, the sufferer of first note lag, I probably took 3 or 4 grades in succession in that first little burst. So Axelerrixx with a 1% lead, but we're only 200 notes in, so anything can happen still.
Yeah, for sure. I think as the players once again start to settle into the map as a whole, MASH actually going to find in the first break here, dropping them back down into that 98% range momentarily, grows that score lead in favor of Axelerrixx, and the accuracy lead quickly going to get closed down upon, but that extra miss in the back pocket going to prove to be very useful for Axelerrixx to use going further into this map.
Yeah, that miss was very, very crucial for Axelerrixx, because, you know, the couple of 200s could be forgiven at the start, but these misses that keep piling up are really going to start dealing some damage. This is not what you want to see, and MASH has to go back up to the combo cap. I don't think, you know, this map has a lot of notes, probably about 1500 total if I were to guess. So, I mean, you can get up to the combo cap, but you can't really get max credit for all of your notes for a very long period of time. So, basically, Axelerrixx is going to have to drop like 3 or 4 times in this last third of the map.
Yeah, for sure. And they have been a pretty consistent force on these rice picks overall. Not immune to finding those drops here and there, but overall, they have proven to be very consistent. And as we make our way into the last quarter of the chart, again, you get these little break sections where these inconspicuous bursts start to run through here and there. The snaps change all over the place, and trying to keep yourself consistent becomes of the utmost importance. The single note stream coming through now, and as you transition out of this, a couple of bad judgments coming from Axelerrixx as trying to hang on here. A couple of 200s still dotting the landscape, but I think they have done just enough. This 24,000 point lead becoming insurmountable, and they're going to be able to secure this pick to make it 4-2.
Oh man, that was pretty scary. I think those streams were at like 270, but the patterns were absolutely deadly. Both players handling it very well, but again, Axelerrixx coming out of it much better. The ratio from him is outstanding. 243. Wow.
Yeah, very well done overall. And MASH going to opt to restart their client, picking LN4 for the road as they get things underway, not leaving us to wonder what it's going to be. Very grateful for that.
Yes, thanks, Smash. Very seasoned Stafford, helping us out just a little bit by picking LN4, helping the ref, helping the player, their opponent. So
Yeah, for
we are
sure.
gonna see Magnum.
Yeah, the final LN pick surviving in the pool. This is going to be an interesting one. I feel like when it comes to these dense LN picks, Axelerrixx has shown a level of proficiency compared to the coordination-based picks. They definitely look a lot more comfortable on this style of chart, but because of some of the interspersed coordination aspects that are still found in this chart, it becomes a bit of a precarious balancing act.
Yeah, because I mean, a large part of it is like tricky patterns to really mess up your coordination. But on the other hand, Axelerrixx just kind of has been doing slightly better in terms of accuracy for pretty much any other aspect. You throw density at him, I think in a vacuum, probably beats Smash in terms of accuracy at both FC.
For sure. I think the misses are going to be very important. Whoever blinks first might actually find themselves on the losing end of this map because of the fact that they're both able to put up really consistent performances that once you get that tiny inch, they can quickly extend it to be a mile. So as we make our way through this introduction, both of them comfortably crossing that 400 combo cap, going to start receiving full credit for their judgments. And like you were saying, in a vacuum in which they both FC, Axelerrixx has the advantage in terms of the accuracy, but it's only about 1 to 0.2% at the moment.
Yeah, nothing too large, and of course we have seen Mash take pure accuracy leads with both holding FCs before on LN maps. Just, is this map the one for Mash? And as I say that, Mash taking a drop, it's pretty early on. Only a third of the map has gone by, and very clean overall, so not too much damage has been done, but it's there.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely opens the door for Axelerrixx to start taking this lead over to their side, but they trade back that slider break, but Mash unable to capitalize on the opportunity as it presents itself. Still only starting the second half of the charts, so still plenty of time to potentially catch up, but that was a golden opportunity to get some free time alone above that 400 combo cap while Axelerrixx started to build back up there.
Yeah, it's pretty tragic. I think both players have been basically stalemated in terms of the accuracy difference, still about 0.25% from what we've seen in the first half, and Axelerrixx kind of running away with it now. That lead wants to eke over to 10,000 points, and with this much time remaining, there's not a lot that Mash can do. Can really only hope for Axelerrixx to miss.
Yeah, for sure. And as we make our way through this outro, there really aren't that many tricks left up this map's sleeve. Sure, a couple of stray patterns here and there that could catch Axelerrixx out, but the time left is not going to be enough, and Axelerrixx picks up another breakpoint, makes it a match point situation, and it is now 5-2.
Yeah, I mean, Axelerrixx had 4 bullets in the chamber on Magnum, loads in the 5th. We're now at match point, and it's their pick. It's not where you want to be if you're Mash. Mash basically needed to have a clean run throughout this entire map if they wanted to take it versus Axelerrixx. Due to that 10,000 point difference and due to the accuracy difference in terms of bad judgments overall.
I enjoy the camaraderie that these two have. They've been joking back and forth about their level of performance, perceived level of performances as well. It's nice that they can both kind of have a little bit of fun while they make their way through this match in particular.
Yeah, I don't think I feel like Axelerrixx is just a trolling match at this point. There's no way that their PB is like, 950k and then they just pull out a random 30k, and then on LN1 pulled out a random 50k PB.
Yeah, I mean, that's
surely
just the way
it's
it
psychic
goes.
damage, right?
True. I mean, to be fair, to be totally fair, he could just be lying.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it all the time. It's like whenever I lose a map, it's kind of like, yeah, that wasn't my PB. When in reality, it was.
That's actually a really good strategy that I'm gonna have to employ in future
Listen, man,
tournaments.
the strategy of coping is a strong one.
Copium is the best solution.
True.
To keeping your mental sanity in a match.
For sure. And with that being said, Axelerrixx does not take the bait that Mash has laid out. We are going to go into the other Rice map that's remaining. I believe there's Rice 4 coming through.
Yeah, so this is the techier part. Mash doing great on the first notes, unlike what we've seen on some of the previous maps. So that's a good start from him. But Axelerrixx, again, even with this intro, just showing the difference in accuracy between them.
Yeah, for sure. It's really just going to come down to if Axelerrixx finds a drop to present a golden opportunity for Mash to try and take a break point on them, because they have shown that their Rice accuracy is at an absurd level, even as we cross our way into this mid to late game round. And with only the first quarter of the chart still done, it's so far so good. Smooth sailing for Mash, able to maintain pace inside of about 0.2%, keep this lead relatively in check as we continue on here.
Yeah, Axelerrixx actually dropping a little bit, couple of late 200s in that small little trill, but I mean, keeping it competitive so far. I think Mash really hopes to FC and maybe not even need a break on the other side of the screen. Just a couple of bad judgments is really all that's needed at this point. I mean, it's only about 0.1% of a lead.
Yeah, for sure. Mash is doing a really good job picking up the pace here, able to close down that deficit just for a brief moment. I think one of those runs giving him a couple of late 200s. They're going to drop him back down as we make our way into the last quarter of the chart. Now it is still 0.2% the deficit, but Axelerrixx finding a couple of 200s. These calm sections are prime bait to pick up a couple of sloppy judgments if you try to autopilot your way through some of the less rigorous patterns before diving right back on into it. But as we continue on here, last level of chart still left to go. That burst not catching either player out. Both FCs still left on the board, and the gap is closing just ever so slightly. Is there going to be a chance? And Mash finds the break here at the ending, unable to hang on till the end. It wouldn't have made a difference overall, but unfortunate. They're doing so well to maintain pace, and Axelerrixx manages to close the match out with a score of 6-2.
Man, very, very close maps overall, 6-2. I feel like this probably could have been swung a little bit into Mash's side for a couple of these maps. Maybe we could have seen more of the hybrid action, but unfortunately, Axelerrixx just very good in terms of consistency. FC the majority of these maps, and that's a big reason as to why they're able to take the maps in general. And congrats to Axelerrixx for securing their winners finals appearance.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations to them. Not the end of the line for Mash just yet. Just going to need to play the remainder of their matches in that losers bracket. And just as an update, I did mention at the top of the broadcast that this was a double header. We did have a simultaneous match going on concurrently with this one, and that was Delta 386 going up against Charles Mad Cut, and Charles Mad Cut actually winning that match out by a score of 6-1, knocking Delta out of the tournament. Congratulations to them for advancing. Commiserations to Delta, putting up a valiant effort. One of the better performers in this tournament, but their run has come to an end. And along with that, the run of semifinals matches has also come to an end. We are officially through these semifinals matches. We are down to the final 6 players in MALT. Dinah, what do you think of the remaining players?
Oh man, each one kind of just has like their own thing going on. They're so specialized in what they can do, and it's gonna be really exciting to see how this tournament ends, because there's something special is brewing, I think, in the lower bracket especially. There's gonna be some crazy matches there. So if you guys enjoyed this, thanks for watching, and hope you guys can catch the pool showcase that we'll be having later on. I believe today we'll try to get you guys that information soon.
Yeah. If not, then the most reliable time to check back in is always 14 UTC on Monday. If there are any updates or changes to that time, we'll be sure to let you guys know in the Discord. But until then, congratulations to the top 6 players going on to finals. And until then, we'll catch you guys later.